Hey, so in the previous videos, I made some arguments that if it is the case that science and religions were aware of this theory, and I argue that there's good chance that they were, and they have not disclosed it to everyone, and as clearly they haven't, then it shows a moral depravity on both the side of science and religion. In the case of science, well, it was supposed to discover the truth, not to change the truth so that it will appear as if it is as if there is a physicalist reality, and and it actually changed reality to make it more physicalist. So it's basically corrupt, completely corrupt. And in the case of religion, well, they sold a half truth. They sold the idea that there is a God, and according to the theory, it's probably we're talking about the distributed power here, which according to the theory should exist and might very well exist in all in many social circles, such as a city, a social network, also in religion. I mean, why not? And they made it seem as if it has capacities that it doesn't. All the supernatural capacities, be it control of like personal physics, like a private blind gap, whether it's that it's omnipotent, like inconsistent elements, that whether it's it can make eternal judgment, whether it controls souls. None of that is true. The God thing maybe exists, like the entity, the experiential agent that we call God might exist, but it's not capable of the kind of things it claims to. And if religions knew that, then well, it's dishonesty. Now, I'm not saying that all the gods that religion talk about exist. I'm saying it's possible. The theory definitely doesn't reject it, but they're not what religions say they are. Now, you could maybe when you hear that, you say, of course, like we all know that science is misleading us, and we all know that religions are misleading us. There's this other thing that we, by opening our consciousness through using psychedelics or whatever, ayahuasca, we've discovered this truth that is at our fingertips, and this is the truth that both science and religions are refusing to accept. And what is this truth? Of course, it's not the theory. It's something else. It's usually comes along with this notion of this kind of positive oneness, like that we are all one, and then by merging with that, opening our consciousness, and merging with that thing, we can achieve happiness and joy and whatever. And this idea of source consciousness, that all the knowledge that we can ever accumulate through science and whatever is already available to us if we open our consciousness to it. Something along those lines. Of course, maybe I'm butchering it, but that's basically the idea. And it's also often will come from the same people that are pushing consciousness and would reject the idea of that experience is fundamental in an almost religious dedication, which for which I called them before in the previous video, called that tendency of the religion of consciousness. So they say that, and if they were to mean experience, I would accept that. Maybe I would, but they don't. They mean consciousness, and what they're doing is doing the same thing that religions do, and that's taking a grain of truth and mixing it with the thing that they want it to be. And well, it's not according to the theory. If the theory is wrong, then it's wrong. But if it's true, then they are wrong. Okay, so how so? Well, I already made videos about experiential dissections. This is basically explaining how the mind works, how this mental space of thought what is its substrate, and it breaks down according to the theory to experience, which is one element, and elements that exist in the objective subject of reality that experience reflects on. These are core fundamental dimensions. These are when experience reflects on, this is how the patterns that experience perceives become manifest, and they are also necessary for the storage of memory. And memory is necessary for the construction of ideas, because, for example, if you think of the notion of a country, to understand this notion, you can't just say a country. It's just not just one experiential movement. You have to think about what a country means to people, what it means about borders, what it means about nationality. These are you have to go through ideas and still experiential movement and still remember from where you came from, which is the notion of a country. And this is the same. The same is true for any idea that is beyond just raw experience. And so now the thing here is that these different impressions are of the same, according to the theory, it's the same metaphysical element, which is the dimension of experience in all of them. Why? Because if that wasn't the case, then experiential agents couldn't interact. And therefore, all these are, and the theory also argues that the experience is fundamental. What that means is that all these different configurations are of the same element. So basically, you always have access to this repository of experiential movements, of feeling. Like basically, this would be happiness, sadness, beauty, redness, all the patterns you can ever perceive, everything that you can experience is available to you. You know it by being an experiential agent, and no additional information necessary. But that is not the source consciousness. Because it doesn't, like, the notion of a country, for all it means, cannot be a part of it, because for that you need memory. And almost all our knowledge consists of something that requires some kind of a memory, and that's not part of it. So you have this repository that you can access, but this repository is definitely not the same as source consciousness. And also, yes, it unites us all, and so in that case there is this oneness, but this oneness excludes, and it doesn't exclude all the negative emotions. It includes hate and anger and disgust and loathing and all the experiential movements that you wouldn't think are part of this loving thing you call oneness. So now this isn't really a surprise that this confusion happened. First, one of the things that motivated it again was psychedelics, and drugs often come with things that make you feel euphoric, and so here comes the idea that you would understand that reality, that you'd feel more of the nature of reality, but because of the drugs you're taking, you're thinking it's positive, and it's also like, I guess that's what you'd want. You're looking for something, like you're trying to find something in reality that would make you like your life more, and you're trying to find positivity because you want to feel better. So it's natural to try to prove it, but again, it's not any better than religion or science. So.